Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Anuja Avasthi. Today's poem is The Gift of India by Sarojini Naidu, page number 14. Page number 14, The Gift of India by Sarojini Naidu. You can see on page number 13 there is written something about Sarojini Naidu also, that Sarojini Naidu was also known by the sobriquet the Nightingale of India, and she was a poet as well as a prominent figure in the Indian national movement, right? So this much is there, and she helped to establish a Women's Indian Association in 1917. This much is there on page number 13. Now come to page number 14. Okay, something about the poetry also. Sarojini Naidu, she's uh, well known for her lyrical pieces like In the Bazaars of Hyderabad, Palanquin Bearers. In the Bazaars of Hyderabad was in the previous syllabus of ICSE, right? Palanquin Bearers and so on and so forth. Now, through her poetry, what she did, Sarojini Naidu, she tried to arouse a sense of pride and patriotism in the hearts of the countrymen, right? So this poem is a patriotic one. It is a patriotic poem, and this poem is a tribute to the contribution of Indian soldiers in World War First, and the selfless sacrifices of the Indian soldiers for the Western concern. And it is beautifully captured by Sarojini Naidu, the sacrifice of the Indian soldiers. They sacrificed their lives for the Western concern, and this poem was written in 1915, right? This poem is a tribute to the contribution. This you need to learn, that it is a tribute to the contribution of Indian soldiers when in World War First. And when it occurred, World War First, it occurred in 1914 to 1918, right? Okay, let's begin the poem. First para is there aught you need that my hands withhold, rich gifts of raiment or grain or gold? In this very first line, Sarojini Naidu, here this is our first line. In this very first line, Sarojini Naidu talks about the numerous benefits the foreign countries reaped from India, right? First of all, let me tell you, this is a rhetoric question. You can see the question mark after here, after gold there is a question mark. So this is a rhetoric question. What is a rhetoric question? Rhetoric question is a figure of a speech. Figure of a speech in the form of a question, right? A question that is asked to make a point rather than to draw out an answer. Alright, that is rhetoric question, जिसमें हमें answer नहीं चाहिए होता है. We want to put an emphasis on our thoughts. हम अपने बात में emphasis जब रखना चाहते हैं, then we use this rhetoric question. Now, lo, I have flung to the east and the west priceless treasures torn from the breast, and yielded the sons of my stricken womb to the drum beats of the duty, the sabres of doom. What happens in the very first stanza? It begins with the Mother India asking if there is any more sacrifice left for her to make. कुछ और बचा है उसके लिए. She has given everything, whatever she had. सोने की चिड़िया बोलते थे इंडिया को, right? तो she has Mother India only. Mother India is the speaker of the poem. तो Mother India says, I have given everything, the clothing, the food, the grains, the gold, everything. Rich gifts of raiment. Raiment is the ancient word for garment. So she is saying, I have given everything. Is there what you need that my hands withhold? Means, is there anything else you want from me? Rich gifts of raiment, I have given you the garment. To the foreign lands, Mother India is saying, right? Foreign land se bol rahi hai Mother India. I have given you the rich raiments, I have given you the grain, I have given you the gold, everything. Lo, I have flung to the east and the west priceless treasures torn from the breast. Means, India has flung priceless treasures of her land to the countries of the east and the west, right? Everything she has given to the east and the west. All right, then what happens? and yielded the sons of my stricken womb to the drumbeats of the duty, the sabers of doom. Then she says, I have not only given you the the precious items, the materialistic things, but also I have given my sons. I have sent my youth, and were in distant battlegrounds to fight for someone else's war, right? Ye Mother India is saying for you know for her sons, for her youth, for her young soldiers. कहाँ गए थे वो? They went for a war just because they were fighting for someone else's war. They didn't comprehend what's going on. They didn't understand for what they are fighting, but just because they joined that the British army. The poem was written in 1915, no, in the middle of World War First, when India was under the British rule. So when India was under the British rule, Indian soldiers employed in forces, and when they were employed in forces under the British rule, India was exploited for its riches and resources. जो इंडिया की richness थी इंडिया की, that was its minus point only. उसकी वजह से ही लोगों को समझ में आया it's very rich, and we need to go and begin the trading from there only. So they came here, and mother, this para shows Mother India's resentment. It's anger, गुस्सा शो कर रहा है. She asks that, is not enough that I have given everything? Is it not enough that I have given everything? क्या ये enough नहीं है कि मैंने सब कुछ दे दिया? सब कुछ का मतलब अपनी precious items भी दे दिए. Even I have given my soldiers also, and yielded the sons of my stricken womb. Yielded means I cared my sons, I kept my sons to my near my breast, but you snatched them from my breast, and yielded the sons of my stricken womb to the drumbeats of the duty. And they went just because they joined the British army. They were bound to fight for them. That's why they went, and they never returned. And then what happens in our next para? Gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by the Persian waves. Scattered like shells on Egyptian sands, they lie with pale brows and brave broken hands. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders and France. Here. Now what happens? Here Mother India says, gathered like pearls in their alien graves. Here, which figure of speech is here? Simile, right? Simile is when we compare something, and where in a sentence we find like and as, we can say there is a figure of a speech, simile. So we can find here this like, gathered like pearls. So gathered like pearls in their alien graves, just because we can find like here. Like is a kind of comparison. The soldiers' bodies were compared to the pearls. It shows that for Mother India, how precious her soldiers are, how precious for every mother, her child is very precious. So for Mother India, her child is very precious. And gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by their Persian waves. What happens? Mother India here shows the sacrifice of Indian soldiers, and these brave soldiers who fought and gave up their lives and buried in foreign lands, means they even didn't get the opportunity to return to their motherland so that they can be buried on their motherland. उनको इतनी भी opportunity नहीं मिली कि वो अपने land पे आकर के उनका funeral किया जा सकता, right? They were away from their land, and even their bodies did not get the comfort of resting finally where? In their own motherland. Then what happens? gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by their Persian waves. कहाँ कहाँ the bodies were there, the bodies were there on the alien graves. Alien graves मतलब foreign lands. The bodies were buried on the foreign lands because they went for the battle for World War First, जिनसे उनका soldiers का कोई लेना देना नहीं था, just because they joined the British Army. तो British Army के लिए उनको जाना ज़रूरी था, and they went and they never returned. उनको बुरी करने के लिए भी अपनी मदरलैंड जो है वो नहीं डेस्टिन्ड हुई. Silent they asleep by their Persian waves. And then we can see that in Persia also, so their bodies are even lying under the ground in Persian waves, scattered like shells on Egyptian sands. Even we can find that the bodies are scattered like shells on the Egyptian sands. Sands means here desert, right? When the war took place on the Egyptian desert, so there also the bodies are buried, but they didn't get the opportunity to come back on their lands. They lie with pale brows and brave broken hands. This shows that first of all, so they were away from their land, right? And then the bodies are scattered, and the bodies are lying on the fields. And pale brows, here pale brows is the symbol of death and devastation, right? यहाँ जो death and devastation का symbol है, that is pale brows. Pale means colorless, कि no redness is there, no blood circulation is there. It means they are dead. They lie with pale brows. We can see they are lying with pale brows, means they are dead. The blood circulation has stopped. And brave means still we can see the brave, the brave faces. Even if they are dead, we can see the bravery on their faces. Broken hands shows the death, that now they fought a lot. They fought not for their own benefits but for others, but now their hands are broken, but now they are dead. They cannot fight anymore, right? At least they are dead, but they are not coward, we can say. Mother India is very happy. Mother India is very proud of her sons, that that Mother India's sons are not coward. At least they fought. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance. They are strewn like blossoms. Strewn like blossoms mown down by chance. She says that it looks like the bodies are like carelessly plucked flowers, right? Strewn like blossoms. Blossoms मतलब flowers. तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि mown down means plucked. And by chance here shows the expression of undeserving death. मतलब they were the brave people. उनका destined नहीं था dead होना, but by chance, like suddenly कुछ ऐसा हुआ होगा कि they were dead. Otherwise वो इतने brave थे कि अभी they could fight more. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance. Blossoms here, it shows the preciousness. कितना ब्यूटिफुली कंपेयर किया है सरोजनी नायडू ने सोल्जर्स को, हर मदर की तरफ से उसके जो सन्स जो गए थे फाइट के लिए फॉर द बैटल, उसकी तरफ से कंपेयर किया है. फॉर द मदर the sons are like blossoms. For the mother, the sons are like precious shells. For the sons, the mothers are like priceless treasures. They are like very precious items, just in a nutshell I can say. And then what happens on the blood brown meadows of Flanders and France, and where they are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance, कहाँ पे वो इस तरह से प्लग्ड पड़े हुए हैं, उनकी बॉडीज पड़ी हुई हैं. ऑन द ब्लड ब्राउन मेडोज. मेडोज मीन्स अ पीस ऑफ ग्रास लैंड, राइट? एक ग्रास लैंड है जहाँ पे उनकी बॉडीज आर लाइंग. ब्लड ब्राउन इज अ कलर ऑफ सॉइल, और उसमें ब्लड जो है उसका कलर मिक्स हो गया है, तो द कलर ऑफ द सॉइल इज बिकम ब्लड ब्राउन. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, देयर बॉडीज आर लाइंग on the grassland. The color of the grassland is blood brown, And where it is, the grassland, where is it? On the Flanders and France. Flanders is Belgium and France, so you know, Flanders and France. Can you measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer, and the far sad glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory? Then what happens? Can ye measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer? Right? From here we can see a question mark. Here also we can see a question mark. Means 1, 2, 3, 4. All these 4 lines are again rhetoric questions. They are not asking for the answers, just they are emphasizing. Emphasizing on what? She asks if they can measure her grief, if they can measure her tear. किससे बोल रही है? To the foreign land. They can measure her grief, if they can measure her tears, if they can measure her sufferings. Sufferings when she watches all these, when she watches the dead bodies of her sons. She says they can never understand the pride, right? Because in the next line you will see, she says, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair. She says they can never understand the pride that thrills through my heart in spite of despair. And pride for what? She says, despite my sadness, I am proud of my sons. Why? Because they fought bravely and they brought victory. She says, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer. Then she says that, you know, foreign nations can never comprehend the hope that comforts the mothers from pain. And which prayer? Praying for their sons' safety. Means the mothers of this land, or we can say the mother India, she hopes that comforts the anguish of prayer. मतलब एक प्रेयर है गॉड से कि वापस कर दें, उनके सन्स को वापस अपने लैंड पे भेज दें. और जो उनकी एक प्रेयर है वो उन्हें होप देती है दैट डेफिनेटली दे आर गोइंग टू बी रिटर्न्ड, एंड इट कम्फर्ट्स समहाउ देयर हार्ट्स. उनके हार्ट में कहीं ना कहीं एक रिलैक्सेशन होता है दैट डेफिनेटली द सन्स आर गोइंग टू बी बैक. And the far sad glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory. Then the this says the mother India, she says that the torn red banners of victory means when I see the torn red banners of victory, this glorious vision is just waste for me. Why? Because it is red with the blood of my sons. So this victory is of no use for me. And the far sad glorious vision I see means this victory may be glorious for you, but this is sad for me. See the oxymoron, sad glorious vision I see, right? Sad and glorious together. So this victory can be glorious for you, but for me this victory is useless. Why? Because your banner of victory is torn, and it is shedded by the blood of my sons. And then she says, when the terror and the tumult of hate shall cease. Tumult means this noise. When we'll be back to normal, right? When the terror and tumult of hate shall cease, जब ये सब शांत हो जाएगा, जब ये सब खत्म हो जाएगा slowly, gradually, and life be refashioned on anvils of peace. Anvils means pointed end. When life will be refashioned. Here what happens, the poet, she talks about the result, the peace after the war, जब सब war के बाद शांति हो जाएगी, the martyrdom of the countless soldier, जब we'll be trying to forget this our sacrifice, हम धीरे धीरे उससे overcome हो रहे होंगे, and then the life will be refashioned. We'll try to be normal with changes. हम चेंज कर रहे होंगे, वापस सब कुछ नॉर्मल हो रहा होगा. But when she says that life be refashioned on anvils of peace, anvils of peace shows that it will not be easy for anyone. Means to be back to normal, it will not be easy for anyone. And then she says, your love shall offer memorial thanks. She says ki when you all will be showing respect, you all will be paying respect to the dead who fought in the war. Then she says, your love shall offer memorial thanks to the comrades who fought on the dauntless ranks. Means to whom you will be showing respect, to whom you will be showing your honor, to the soldiers, to the brave comrades, to the brave soldiers who fought in the war. And you honor the deeds of the dauntless ones. When you will be honoring their deeds, when you will be showing respect towards their deeds, remember the blood of my martyred sons. Then the speaker, means the Mother India, she asks the blood of her martyred sons be remembered also. And she says that you should be, they even not you should be, they should be remembered, right? They should be means our sons, my sons should also be remembered. When you honor your brave soldiers, my sons also be remembered, because they have also sacrificed their lives, right? This much is also there in this poem. And one more thing I want to discuss, the rhyme scheme of the poem. Rhyme scheme is, we can see here, withhold. Suppose to withhold we mark it A. Then gold goes with hold, so we mark it A only. Hold and gold, the both will be A. Then west and breast, the west and breast both will be B only, A B B. Then womb and doom, first para only we with the first para only we check the mark scheme, no rhyme scheme. तो वही पूरे पैराज में होगी. Womb and doom we'll mark it as C. So we can find out the rhyme scheme of the poem A B B C C. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? A B B C C. Alright, this much is there in the poem. What is the theme of the poem? The theme is patriotic, right? The rhyme scheme is A B B C C. The simile, figure of speech, we have seen, where scattered like shells, right, gathered like pearls. Here simile is there, and the rhetoric questions are there, this one and 1 2 3 4, these 4 lines, these all are the rhetoric questions, right? And when the poem was written, in 1915. All right. And what is the plot of the poem? Plot means a kind of theme, we can say. This is the selfless sacrifices of the Indian soldiers. All right, this much is there in the poem. If you have any doubts and the queries, we'll discuss in the session. Thank you all. Bye bye, take care.